A good movie begins with a solid story, but it fully starts to take shape when you ensemble a perfect cast. Let's talk about it. Hello and welcome to another episode of Nerd News. I'm your host Chris Chavez, and today we are going to be talking about casting. That's right, all the things that make you go, Now, before we get started, like we do each and every episode, if you like my content, please select the notification bell, hit the subscribe and like button to be notified for new content down the road. Ain't that right, Bruce? Or Batman. Oh man, I messed that one up, didn't I? So let's get started with, of course, I think you know where I'm going because I do this all the time, Marvel. Now, Marvel is about to release Endgame here in a few weeks, and with that, we don't know what's going to happen down the road of the future movies in Phase 4, except we know that Black Widow is going to have a solo movie, and they have cast one specific actor who's already in a comic book movie that's actually opening up here in a week. Now, besides Scarlett Johansson reprising her role of Natasha Romanoff, we get a new actor to join the Marvel family, and that is David Harbour of Hellboy and Stranger Things. So of course this movie is going to be centered around Natasha Romanoff and her time as a spy and an assassin being trained by the KGB. She realizes she has been doing very, very bad things and has a nice little mental switch before joining, that's right, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, that's a horrible impression of a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So the rumors will fly as to what kind of character David will play in this movie. As of now, there is no release date. The movie is in still early development. But as news comes down the pipeline, I will definitely let you all know. That's what I do. That's my job. Don't know why I'm doing this? Let's move on to the next movie. Next up, we have a reboot of a movie that came out in 1984, a year after I was born, and that of Dune. Now, Dune is directed by Denis Villeneuve, who is best known for directing 2017's beautifully filmed Blade Runner 2049. Now, if you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it. It is amazing and very beautiful. And he is used to working with big A-list actors, like he did with Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner. Now, the cast that has been assembled for Dune is mighty impressive. The list goes on as such: Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem, Charlotte Rampling, Dave Bautista, Zendaya, Jason Momoa, Stephen Henderson, Thanos himself, Josh Brolin. Dune is an adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel about a family who's entrusted in the protection of a planet. Now, this movie has already begun production, and it comes out November 20th, 2020. We have a while to wait for this movie, but it's worth the wait. If you're excited as I am, give me a high five on your screen. So Zack Snyder is back in the director's chair to direct a movie for Netflix called Army of the Dead. So joining Zack in this movie is going to be none other than Drax himself, Dave Bautista. Now, the only thing that they said about this movie is a small synopsis. Dave Bautista is going to play the lead. He is going to gather a small team to pull off a heist in Las Vegas. And in the middle of that, there's zombies. I'm excited about this because it's Army, it's Dead, and it's Zack Snyder. Okay, maybe it's Zack Snyder and Dead, and then Army. Yeah, we'll go with that. Zack Snyder's first feature film was a remake of George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. And to say that he's excited about returning to the genre, well, that would be an understatement. Zack Snyder was quoted in saying, "I love big action. I love big sequences. My movie brain started clicking around and I was like, we need to start shooting this now. Construction of these sequences really fired me up." And no release date yet is set for this movie, but Zack Snyder is a beautiful cinematographer. He's a good writer, he's a good director, but his cinematography is what sets him apart from a lot of the other directors that are out now in the industry. Look how beautiful 300 was. It looked like a painting come to life. So to mix an action movie with zombies in his visionary style should be really good. And as Bautista in the main role, this big giant man, well, it's a formula for a perfect movie. And last but not least, we're going to circle all the way back around to Marvel and that of the Eternals. They have cast Angelina Jolie as one of the lead roles, and fans are kind of in disbelief about it, to be honest. Angelina Jolie will play Cersei, who is distant from her fellow Eternals because she actually enjoys being around humanity. She ends up joining humanity and leaving her family behind. They come across their destructive counterparts, the Deviants, in an all brawled out war for Earth. And that is your movie casting news for this week. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. And what movies are you excited about based off the casting? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. Have a great rest of your week. And even though Blockbuster is gone, they still left us with some amazing words of wisdom. Please be kind and rewind.